Hi, my name is Vivian Williams. This is Vivian Williams' show. I'm an actress, a movie producer, and also a registered nurse. On this show today, we're going to be discussing the reason why relationships are unsuccessful. With me on the panel today, starting from my left, is my very good friend,
Mr. That's my name. I'm a registered nurse and a serial entrepreneur.
My name is Patience Obifuna. I'm a registered nurse, a gospel artist, a minister. I'm a mother and a wife.
And my name's Brown, Ebige Arisco Serige. I have a background in criminology and psychology and also have a background in social legal studies. And I currently work as a restorative justice officer.
Yes.
Let me start from you.
Okay.
The reason why we have unsuccessful relationships.
Yeah, I think the number one reason for me is communication issues. Back in those days, people, they do communicate very well. I think nowadays the ecosystem of the society, there's so much stress and people just do not communicate as they used to in the past. For instance, you see a husband and wife going to work, doing two different shifts. The husband going to work in the morning, wife going to work at night. They hardly see each other, you know. They don't see their kids, they don't see the children. They communicate by texting. Communication is really abstract nowadays, so I think there's this big gap when it comes to communication, and that's really affecting a lot of relationships nowadays.
I think for me, one of the fundamental reasons why relationships fall apart is infidelity. You know, because when a man and a woman, when there's infidelity between partners, it actually makes jealousy that comes into it, distrust, and all of that create crisis, and it could easily make the relationship to fall apart.
Well said. You know, like communication, infidelity. My view, another point is financial situation, finances.
Wow.
Is one issue. Because these days, everybody's so busy, like Adayo said, everybody's going their different ways. And if you don't have a common ground where you put your finances together, it can cause a lot of problems and stress and strain in the relationship. And you know what? Look around you. A lot of problems. When you don't have money, you're nobody. It depends how much you make. Like your husband might make more than you, or wife make more than you, then the husband on the other side will become like will have low self-esteem. It can cause a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I think we have to actually work on the finances. You know, I think is another major issue. You know, what do you put on the table financially? You're all stressed, you're not able to pay your mortgage. You know, traditionally, men are supposed to, traditionally where we come from, men take care of their family. But this part of the world, sometimes it's not the same. So you have to now compare what's going on. When the woman is making more money, then the man looks like a housewife, is a problem. So you have to find a common ground.
Why relationships are unsuccessful, and I'm trying to understand what you are saying, that part of the reason is finance.
Right.
And from what you're saying is that if the woman is making more money, that creates a problem with the family and could make the family to tear apart. Well, I see it from a different perspective. What I'm saying is, we need money to be able to function as human beings. And when there's lack of money in the house, that could create unnecessary animosity, and that could actually start affecting how the relationship is going forward. But not for the fact that one person has more than the other. If one person has more than the other, it shouldn't actually be an issue.
Okay, what happens when there is no money in a relationship? Your husband is not doing enough. I've seen wives say, you know what, this Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. D are doing better than you. That's financial situation right there. So sometimes, especially the society where we are in now, women want to look good, and if you cannot keep up as a man, trust me, it will bring problems to the family.
I can actually connect your 2 points. You brought up the idea of infidelity, and you brought up financial reasons. And I can connect the two. You have a case where maybe there's this guy who was able to provide for his family. He had the financial resources to provide for his family. All of a sudden, maybe he lost the means for that provision. could be a job, could be business, could be a massive loss in his business. And all of a sudden he can't really provide for his family as much as he used to, right? And all of a sudden this woman is used to a certain way of life because she's used to getting whatever she wants from the guy and whatever. But all of a sudden she's not getting everything, and this woman can start giving problems in the house, in the home, and all of a sudden can start going outside.
Yeah.
Since the guy's not satisfying her financially anymore, she can begin to go outside, start to date other men, start to sleep around. We've seen it, we've heard about all this stuff. So in a way, it's just from the angle that she's coming from, there's so many angles we can look at this issue, but I do agree with her. Money, it's a very serious issue in any relationship.
And that is where communication is good. That was talking about communication.
You need to sit
You
down
need to sit down and
figure out,
communicate.
okay, hey,
If you need to
this is what is
downsize
happening.
on the family expenses, so communication is very important.
It's very important.
Because in this situation, you might lose yourself. And when you lose yourself, you become angry. Because who you are, what you love to do before you can do it. Because I'm Vivian. Vivian is Vivian. There are things that I love to do. So when you are in a marriage, you don't want to lose yourself. You need to be yourself, to be happy, and to be able to speak to your partner. So communication is so important, as Mr. Dio said. And money, you're talking about the money issue, and you said something about
Infidelity.
and infidelity, which is really, to me, more like everyday discussion. Infidelity. I have friends calling me in a marriage of 20 years, 15 years, still dealing with infidelity than monetary issue.
Also, I actually like this. This is very good. Even the Bible says love money is the root of all evil, right? And it's a lot. So, like I said, we can look at it from a lot of angles, from different angles. Someone could come from a poor background, become rich all of a sudden, maybe through hard work or by any other means, and his personality could change. It could become more arrogant. Maybe it was humble before, or she was humble before, could become more arrogant. All of a sudden, because he's suddenly exposed to power, suddenly exposed to a state where he's not used to before, and this can totally change it. And now, hence, I mean, after going through all these changes in personality, all of a sudden he becomes irritable to the lady, or if it's the woman that gets rich, all of a sudden becomes irritable to the man, because all of a sudden there's pride involved.
So now,
Right.
when there is no money, it can be a problem, and when there's too much money, it can lead to different behavior that also can be a problem to the marriage itself or to the relationship itself. So in both ways, money is a
I want
problem.
to bring into this is men, women, sometimes in marriage, okay, let's say we're dating and we're all okay. The moment you get married, then because of your busy schedule, you forget what you're supposed to do. You don't spend time with your wife. Marriage is like flower. You need to water it. You need to water it. You need to talk. You need to communicate. You need to tell her how beautiful she is. Because what causes infidelity might be a little thing as small as just saying, "I love you. You're so beautiful." It might be the way you used to hug her. You no longer have time for her because you're busy with other things. And then she wants that. Like women, we love that cuddling. We need that. And if it's missing in a relationship, it poses a problem. Because you need somebody, you want somebody to say, "Your man, oh, you're beautiful, oh, I like the way you look," and da. And women on the other side, "Oh, I'm married, I have children, I'll relax." You don't take care of yourself anymore, and then the man will lose that. You know what? There's something he saw before coming to you. So you have to maintain that.
Now you may lose your self-esteem.
Self-esteem.
Okay.
Like marriage, you need to date your wife quite often. You need to take her out. You need to make time for your relationship. The moment you don't have time to take care of your
So
family,
you have to communicate your finances. Because
Not
to
only-
have time and to live a beautiful life, it's not going to work. If you want to live in this big house, with big car and everything, someone has to work more. So you have to communicate what you want more. Do you want to live a basic life where you can have more love
time
and more time for your family? So it's give and take. everything boils down to communication and the values. Because do you value money more than your relationship? Do you have something else that takes away the stress of relationship? You understand? Who do you communicate with? So some people, they pray to God. They go to church, which is one of the good things. I mean, you want to listen to people who have gone through this before. People get counseling. So it depends on your values in life and how you deal with stress. Prayers, some people just pray, they relax, and they look at the values that they were brought up with.
Okay, yeah, what I can understand you, the point that I take from what you just said about not putting in the work, you know, like you're in a relationship and you decide to just let go of anything, and then, you know, the attraction begins to disappear on the either side of the eye, both the man and the woman, and that could actually, you know, leads to a relationship falling apart. Yeah, I totally agree.
Cause infidelity.
That would cause infidelity. I think I totally agree with you on that. Another point that I would like to say.
Go out. Listen, take your wife out. You guys, you family, make time. You know, vacation. Things you can do. I know it's difficult. It's money, but you have to incorporate it in your life. You have to put it together.
Also,
like sitting down and talking together. Okay, how can we make this work?
Yeah.
Communication comes down to.
Can also take the man out too.
You guys are married.
Yes.
Who takes what? If
Sometimes
you
the woman can also date the man.
Yes, we do, but are you ready?
What do you mean? In this part of the world that we are now, it's mostly 50-50, isn't it?
That's correct.
So,
I think I agree with
in
what
taking your husband away from money, or your partner away for
the point
funds.
that is trying to bring up there is that we have to complement each other.
Exactly.
And in order for relationships to be successful, because by the time we do not complement each other, then it's most relationships will begin to fall apart. You know? That's the point. I agree with you people. And another point also that I would like to just chip in why relationship fall apart is over controlling. You know, when somebody becomes, you know, over controlling, either the man or the woman becomes over controlling and possessive, that could actually also lead to the relationship breaking up. Either why you at the beginning of the relationship or why you're already into the relationship. So that's another point also that we'll have to, you know, bear in mind. And what was going through my mind when you were talking is, of course, there are many factors why relationships fail. There's one that has just been dropping into my mind. A lot of people might find it very, very uncomfortable to have a conversation, to talk about. And that is, what's the word? Sex. You know, now, you know, well, for a relationship, you know, if this, when the sex has to be good for a relationship to survive. And if it is not good, it's also enough for the relationship to fall apart. But I'm not saying that it is everything. Of course, love is better than sex, which is personality and all of that, you know. And along the line, if you improve on how you understand your woman and the man, I think that can actually make the relationship to grow very strong around it for them.
I think this is kind of different for everybody. You understand? To some people, they know how they want to have it. To some people, they are laid-back couples and they are compatible in that form. So it depends on who you are and how driven you are regarding.
Yeah, that's the point. The point I'm trying to say here is this:
sex is very important.
Yeah, I'm trying to say that. I'm not saying how you both want it. I'm saying that it is important, right? And it is not also bigger than the personality. Both sides can improve on how to meet up to each other's sexual urge. Because what we're talking about infidelity, I think we can also want to say that could also be part of the reasons why, you know, some women do get in the act of infidelity if their husband or their boyfriend is no longer being able to satisfy them sexually. So that is very important.
Yeah,
it's
all boiled back to communication.
It all boils down to...
Are you able to tell your partner how you feel? And how do you...
if it's a medical reason, you can work on it. because some people, they have medical issue that can interfere with their sex.
Yeah.
You know.
So you communicate.
You communicate.
Yes.
You
So
know,
that is.
you work on it. Don't just relax, because if you relax, some women I've seen some young women who said, you know what, I can't live without sex. My wife, my husband, my this, my that cannot satisfy me sexually. So I remember asking this lady, would you walk away from your marriage if your man is no longer as he used to be? Some people say yes.
Yeah.
It depends on value.
Yeah.
Can you walk away? But in my own view, I'll look at it like this. What if some relationship, I remember I work in a hospital, medical field. I see some young couple, their husband maybe just had a motor accident vehicle and paralyzed. Would you leave your man because you can no longer, you know what I mean? So you look at it this way. What is more important to you? Is it your relationship?
Comes down to your values in life.
Exactly, it's value.
Mr. Dio, I see you want to contribute more.
Yes. Another reason why I think relationships do fail in this present era, I think it's because people have different rates of growth in their personal life.
Yeah, growing apart.
That's right, they're growing apart, and also they have different expectations. I think when two people come together in, to form a relationship, at the beginning everything runs smoothly and you know, but then after a while maybe one of them starts to experience a very big or rapid growth in his or her endeavors, right? And the other person might feel either jealous or feel left behind, or maybe because of this stagnant growth, and that could make them grow apart after a while.
Yeah, and again, we need to also recognize abuse. It can be physical or mental abuse, where one partner is being abused and physically or mentally. So these are very important.
I think this is a topic that a lot of people do shy away from nowadays. Physical and mental abuse.
Because mental abuse is out there.
Yes.
One partner may not see it, but you think maybe telling your husband, bringing him down all the time, instead of giving him, your husband or your common law is going for an interview, for example, and you just tell him, make sure you get that job today. Instead of giving him that encouragement, holding his hand, you want to pray with him, you want to talk to him, you want to boost him up. And so when you don't complimenting each other, it can lead to mental abuse. Like, for example, women love to be told, when you dressed up, you're going out and you turn around and you want your husband to compliment, he goes like, oh, you're beautiful. You know, she wants you to tell her, look at her and say, you are beautiful.
If your husband or your boyfriend does not compliment you, are you saying that that would make a relationship to fall apart, to break? Is that what I can hear you say? You know,
no, it's not going to make your relationship fail at that moment. It's going to contribute eventually.
okay.
Because you're going to be tired. Maybe he's working hard, working all the time. There is no compliment, there is no vacation. Eventually, you become so congested and annoyed. A little thing causes quarrel. You are fed up. So you build up little by little.
I agree with you on that.
Or maybe one partner is working so much at home.
I think
you're cleaning so much. The other one is not cleaning. Because I'm the one bringing in the money. You also have to recognize what the other partner is doing at home, which is very important. She's cooking. She's taking care of the children. Because you are bringing money from out, bringing more income, doesn't mean that the other one at home. So both of you have to recognize yourself. What is going on? How do we complement each other? Where does she need help? This can turn into a mental abuse for the woman. She may look at herself and say, all I'm doing is cooking, cleaning, taking care of this man, taking care of these children. Or the man might be the one being at home to watch, is the one going. So now we are living in a different world where men can be home and women go to work. So when she comes back from work, she's not bossy. Oh, the children were not fed, this is not done. And this man who is not used to being at home because he lost his job and you'll be bringing in more money, he's not feeling depressed. So mental abuse can be both sides. The woman can give the man can abuse the man mentally, the man can abuse the man mentally. So these days it's not one-sided, it's both sides. because of what we are facing. This is we are living now in the community or in an era where rules are being no longer defined because of sex, because of who you are, male or female. So it's because of the situation that you have at hand.
I think when you talk about mental abuse, I think words goes a long way. In terms of quarrel, in terms of disagreement, be mindful of what you say.
Yeah.
Because it's like a dagger that will go deep into your heart.
Yeah.
And for that reason, a lot of marriages have gone their different ways because of what you said. So we have to be very careful how we address issue, how we, like we might say, you amount to nothing. Who do you think you are? Be careful. The man will go home, even though he said, oh, I've forgiven, I have forgotten it. No, it stays there. And that will gradually lead to more problems, because you have to be mindful of your words, even in terms of disagreement, in terms of quarrel.
And also, I think couples should learn how to take misunderstandings or quarrel as normal things that happen in marriages.
Yeah.
When you just take it as normal, you just have a misunderstanding right now, you said sorry, let it go. Because it's going to happen frequently. Though you mind the words you say, but at the same time, there is going to be conflict in the marriage. It's how you deal with it. Take it as a normal thing that happened. Now, husband said, oh, this to me. Okay, that's fine. The marriage goes on. We just have to take it at a time.
Also, as Mr. Brown said before, someone who is over controlling can actually be very abusive, either mentally or physically, especially when the person cannot control his emotions or emotions, And I think at this point I would like to tell people at home and people watching that physical abuse is real, mental abuse is real, because I'm always very touchy to the subject.
Okay.
I think it's something that is not being talked about often. There's a lot of mental disorders, mental illnesses, depression that's gone undiagnosed, and the reason is because people don't talk enough about mental abuse and mental issues. And I think I really like this, because this is a platform that is giving an opportunity for us to talk about something like this. So mental abuse is real, physical abuse is real. We've had incidences, we've heard about people going through this. I've personally had someone in family who's gone through this. Maybe that's why I'm extra sensitive about this. So it is real, and it's one of the most underrated reasons, I believe, in my own opinion. So thank you.
And Mr. Brian, how will you conclude your opinion today regarding the reason why relationships are unsuccessful?
Okay. My conclusion would be that we have to understand that in every relationship, we are two different people from two different backgrounds.
Yeah.
We're always going to see things from different perspectives. We're always going to disagree.
To agree.
To agree. So if we learn to disagree to agree, I believe that we'll be able to have a healthy relationship and be happy together.
And this is patience.
Well, relationship to me is a good thing, it's beautiful things if you have understanding. And if you, like, sometimes I look at my husband as my partner, my friend. Depends how you look at your own relationship. What would you do to your family, like your partner, your best friend, if they wrong you in any way? So I'm saying to everybody out there, just let go and forgive, forget, and just try to work it out some way. Communicate more. Take care of your spouse. Talk to them. Tell them how much you love them. And also, if you have you just have to date them all over again.
Okay.
Create time for them. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Well said by everybody. And to all the viewers watching us out there, you can build your relationship on a good communication.
Okay.
Talk to your partner, talk to your partner.
Yeah, can I quickly just throw this in as well? That we should learn to have mutual respect for each other.
Yeah.
Because disrespect is usually where all these whole problems start from.
Yeah.
If we don't have respect for each other and try to understand that we view things, we're always going to view things differently, and try to understand and meet in the middle, we're always going to have a problem. Let me just say for the women, if you speak to your husband in a respectful way, ask for his permission to explain yourself again to him over what he thought you did wrong, that's making him feel bad, and the man also, you see that both of you be able to really, have a very healthy and beautiful relationship together.
Beautiful.
And that helps communication.
That's beautiful. So what we are saying right now is to have a healthy relationship, you have to have a good communication skills. What I mean, communicate. Whatever you are feeling, you're lacking anything, just communicate. Okay, we want to hear you, your suggestions. I want to hear your comments. And thank you, Mr. Dyer, patient, Mr. Brown, and well said. So communicate, take quarrel as normal. Love yourself. Cut your coat according to your size. Finance. Don't live above your means. Okay, and respect yourself. Thank you, viewers, for watching us today. Thank you so much. This is Vivian Williams Talk Show, and we have more coming your way.